Hey, Team Tolerator. It has been a while, but this week we have our first Patreon preview since we've been back from summer break. This episode is with the fabulous Julia Washington from Pop Culture Makes Me Jealous, Prose and Glow, and Jelly Pop's Book Club. We are doing our yearly tradition of in the summer taking a look at those manifestations and goals that we made back in January to see if they still apply, how we've been working on those goals, and things like that. So enjoy your preview. And if you want this episode, ad free episodes, or access to the Misogyny Meltdown, make sure you click the link in the show notes to get you over to Patreon and claim your free trial for any of our tiers. I will see you next time. All right. Well, hey, Team Tolerator. As part of the Patreon, you are the only people getting new content during our summer break. And today we have the one, the only Julia Washington to do our mid-year manifestation check-in.
Thank you for having me back. I'm so excited to be here and for the crowd noise that I made.
If you don't recall, Julia is always the person that does our New Year's Eve check-in so that we try to successfully actually reflect on those goals in the summer.
Well, you know what? We're doing great because it's still June. And last year, I think we did it in September. So
yeah,
we're already crushing our goals.
Yes. Oh, well, my year word was quality.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, the summer's so weird.
Tell me why. Why is it weird? I feel like you've had a good summer.
I know. I feel like I've had a good summer, but it also feels like I have been just like playing house at having a good summer and like everything is actually on pause. Like once again, I'm not working.
Oh, I understand. Okay.
There's no rhyme or reason to what the direction of my life will be.
Mm-hmm,
And when I look back at like my yearly tarot spread, it was like, okay, well, June was supposed to be like just a nothing month. It was just
okay.
Nothing will happen this month and we're all just going to be okay.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's not how I operate. Fine.
Why does it sound like I've been smoking all night? I have not. Continue.
Because you were up late and we're not late night. Well, I'm a late night person, but you are not.
Well, and then my dog woke me up early. So yeah, that's okay. Continue.
So yeah, it just feels like there's no moving or shaking happening. And it also feels like 2024 was supposed to be like and a bunch of new challenges will be put in front of you and you will be active for an entire year towards your hopes and your dreams. And today I told Annie, what if I just sold my house though and lived as a lady of leisure in my dad's upstairs bedroom and refused to work because I'm like, well, why do I have to work now? I don't have to afford a mortgage or groceries. You do that.
Doesn't he live near Chicago though?
He does. It's a plane.
So then you could just drive into Chicago to do all the stuff you need to do to work towards your goals.
Yes, truly. It is a train ride away into Chicago or an hour drive.
Yeah, like so I feel like this is the solution. I mean, I don't love the idea of you moving in with your parent.
Yeah.
But if it means it gets you closer to Chicago so you can like pursue comedy, then what's the problem? Do we need to make a pro con list?
It's just like every once in a while selling my house makes me cry. And then every once in a while selling my house, it's like, who cares? The world's ending. And like,
yeah, I literally was talking with my friend today. It's like, oh, I cashed out of retirement to continue funding my first year of business. And she's like, we're not going to see retirement anyway. So yeah, why not?
Think of all those people who were like, don't cash out your retirement. That's so drastic. And as you know, I've cashed out all of my retirements to just try and keep my mortgage paid for the last several years. And all I can think about is everyone's retirement's going to go away. And Julia and I were right all along for
Yeah.
cashing it out because I don't know. It just feels like one day I'll wake up and the banks have all shut down.
Yeah, like that's literally how I feel too. And like if you get on that side of TikTok that is like explaining how all these like multi-millionaire billionaire people are just dumping their stock for money because the market trajectory doesn't look great, I don't understand it. But if rich people are like, I got to get out, this isn't gonna end well, that's alarming.
Right. So I told Annie today after I biffed a job interview that I didn't want, I was like, Annie, why am I looking for a job if, like, literally the president of the United States can't string together a sentence? So, anyways, it feels dumb to be looking for a job
Yes.
when it just feels like we're all going to have a job for 2 weeks and then the world's going to end. And it's going to be like,
Mhm.
do I want to spend my last 2 weeks on earth at a job? Like,
No.
no. So basically, but there were things that I did do that showed progress. Like a lot of it was only spend time with people you actually want to spend time with. And I'm doing that. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
it was also like find ways to spend time with your long distance friends. And I went to Nashville.
Yeah.
Annie and I watched Love Island for a long distance at the same time every night. Just
Yeah, I
texting
love
one another
it.
back and forth.
She's like, "Hey, babes."
Yes, Annie is, I think at this point, Annie and I are each other's partners. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I don't think you could ask for a worse partner. I think that you've kind of made a good decision there.
Yeah,
Or is it
honestly.
ask for a better partner? I don't think you
Ask
could
for
ask
a
for a
better
better
partner.
partner.
Yeah. I
This is
could
what
probably ask
happens.
for a worse partner.
There you go. This is what happens. Sorry, Annie. I didn't mean to unintentionally offend you. This is what happens when I haven't had breakfast, only coffee, and I'm on 4 hours of sleep.
And, but
The team.
I think also part of having a mid-year check-in during the summer is this is when I put everything to bed and rest. So like
Mhm.
all the show's on rest. Like
Yeah.
I could be writing more, meaning I'm not writing at all.
I could be writing more, but I'm
But I'm
not.
not. I'm watching Love Island. Uh like I was like, oh, that's right. I did want to start making art just for me again. That's been reduced to I color at night while I'm watching TV.
Mm, mm. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Right.
Oh, I guess I should you tell me when you're ready to hear my stuff.
I'm
Let's keep
ready.
talking about you.
No, I'm ready. Do
Are you
some of your
sure?
stuff too.
So I had said, like I'm leaving out my main takeaway from re-listening to our episode back in January was like, oh, I really wanted to focus on my business and grow that.
And you are.
Hmm. So like I had said something like, oh, I don't think I specifically said I didn't have a business name. It was just like all the labels say hand poured by Julia or like hand painted by
Mm-hmm.
Julia. So like I have a business name. I have been doing consistent business 2 days a week. It's not enough to leave my full-time contracts for, but it
Mm-hmm.
could be if I, step it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, it's just like when I was listening to our chatty chat from January, is like, holy shit, I'm really and truly like doing the thing that
Yeah.
we had talked about. And I had said like, oh, these are the things that I want to do. And then I've been doing them.
Oh
Am I
my
like
God.
wildly successful? No, but I'm on the trajectory to be.
Well, and I also remember that back in January, we had both come to terms with the fact that this wasn't going to be our successful year. This was going to
Right.
be our building year, which
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I've been in building mode since I got laid off during the pandemic. But
Well, and I don't
still,
think we anticipated just how hard it was going to be to like just how devastating the impact of the pandemic was going to be on us personally, not necessarily like the economy, but like just in
yeah.
general on us personally, because it is,
Yeah. Working
bonkers. Yeah.
working in this day of age is bonkers.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you were laid off during the pandemic and you seamlessly went back to a job as soon as people were allowed out of their homes, how?
How?
I I truly
No, but how?
no, but how?
No, but how?
No, but how?
No, but really how?
No, but like, how did you do it? Also, is that job still remote?
Yeah.
Yeah. Lately I have been getting rid of the notion that I have to be working a remote job to do all of the things that I actually want to do successfully.
Mm-hmm.
And instead, as you know, my goal is to just get a dumb girl job,
Yeah.
like a job that I do not have to think.
Yeah.
I think that that's one of the reasons I biffed this interview today, because he's like, you just seem to like want to sit at a desk for several hours and then leave. And I was like, ding, ding,
Yes.
ding, buddy, that one.
Well, isn't that interesting? Because didn't we have a conversation a few months ago about how I might have
Yeah.
subconsciously self-sabotaged the library interview because the idea of going back to like, here's the schedule you must carry was
Mhm.
real stress.
It was
Yeah.
stress. And basically, by the way, I was a great interview. I'm very charming, but he asked me what was the most important thing in an employer. And I basically laid it out. I was like, here's the thing. I am a person who lives a full life. I
Mhm.
produce, I write, I'm an artist, I'm a creative, all of these things that your college is supposedly bankrolling off of people feeling, since you are a college of design.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I live a full life. My full life needs for me to have great boundaries and work-life balance, but I also know that if your employer doesn't have great boundaries or work-life balance, then yours don't matter.
Correct.
Because
that is correct.
Because I'm
Because
not
they
in
will text you at 6:00 at night. They will expect you to be in at whatever time they're in. Like, why
Yeah,
don't you work as hard as I do? Kind of bullshit.
right. And there's a power dynamic. And if he's in from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. and I'm not, he doesn't really feel like I'm making, like, I can get as much done as possible in the 2 hours that he gets done all day. But
Right.
but it's that whole in-person setup where it's like, no, if you're not chained to your desk and phone, how are you supposed
What
to
are
be
you
making,
even doing?
what are you even doing? And like, I could tell immediately that he was over me at that point when I was like, I just want a boss that also understands that people have lives. By the way, his department currently has a baby being born today and 2 other babies on the way. So it's like, so dude, your department's about to change. Those people are parents.
Right.
You need to start thinking about how you don't keep these people here till 9 o'clock at night.
Mm-hmm.